Mars Transit Effect report. This particular report is very thorough, and this report will last for more than a month, and may I say the 1 month plus. So this is a Mars Transit Effect for all of you, and this is a report of around about 40 days of Mars Transit Effect. So press the bell for liking and become our subscriber. Significance of transiting Mars from 2nd April till 11th of May 2026 in English. Mars has traditionally been considered a very malefic planet in Indian astrology that is more likely to produce evil than good. But this is not so, and this is not true. Although, as is the case with any planet, if the energies of Mars are allowed to operate to excess, its effects can be, may I say that, quite difficult. But usually there is nothing to fear from its transit. And in fact, its energies are a vital part of our life. Mars is an energy planet. Specifically, it rules the energy that an individual uses to maintain himself or herself in the face of pressure from all his or her environment. The Mars energy says that is what I am and I can be no other way. That is Mars within you. And prepare the individual to fight, to face, to act if necessary, to maintain his or her position. Obviously, one can have no individuality without this energy. No one. Male, female, no one. Without Mars energy, you will not have any personality. It is a fundamental part of the ego and drive. Ego, drive, and anyone in whom this energy is weak is not much of a personality. In socially, we call them wet lettuce or call them names. Person with the weak Mars often do the things that are attributed to a strong Mars, such as acting extremely irritable, such as extremely argumentative. These people have to constantly reassure themselves that they are strong, which would be unnecessary if they really were strong. When you're really strong, you don't need assurances. But when you're quite weak person and you know you're weak, you need all the time assurances. It is true, however, that a person with a strong Mars is likely to be rather domineering, will not be submissive, will always stand for himself or herself against all the odds. Mars, with a strong Mars with a person, this person is himself or herself is an army. Mars is also connected with the work and physical energy. And often its transit signify a day when you feel very energetic and extremely vigorous. In fact, one way to ensure that a Mars transit will not cause dispute or argument with others, which is a sign of male functioning of Mars energy, is to have plenty of hard work to do. The negative side of Mars most often manifests itself when there is no other outlet of its energy. As Mars transit in each planet in your horoscope, the energy area of life related to this planet will become energized. When Mars transit each and every planet in your house, each and every house in your house, in horoscope, I'm going to repeat this again from here. As Mars transit each and every house in your house horoscope, the area of life related to that house will become energized. When Mars transits Venus, you seek out physical love. When Mars transits Mercury, you look for mental activity. But there's more to it than that. When Mars transits a planet, your ego drive are likely to incorporate of that planet's energies. You will try to establish your individuality toward others through the issue related to that planet. This can result in conflict with others if the energy gets too strong or encounters serious resistance from others. And of course, there is nothing wrong with good fight. If it serves some purpose, fighting is one way to learn about your own strength in an interpersonal sense. As Mars transit each house, the affair of that house become energized. Just as with the transited Mars, also you will be most active or seek to assert yourself through the affair of the house occupied by transiting Mars. Here again, you are most likely to have a conflict with others in this area of your life. The only real danger with Mars is that its energies, when submitted to the physical level, can signify accident, specifically from burns or fires, and illness involving fever and infection. This is often the result of frustrated ego energies. Although you have to dig around in your psyche to realize that this, you must learn to express your resentment and anger, for they are a legitimate part of your being. Sagittarius, month of April 2026. Mars transit in 4th house for Sagittarius, starting from 2nd April, will carry on to 11th of May 2026. Mars transit in 4th house for Sagittarius. So, during this particular period, Mars will move through your 4th house. Mars is placed in your 4th house. Mars is the lord of your 5th house and lord of your 12th house. Mars 4th aspect on your 7th house, 7th aspect on your 10th house, and 8th aspect on your 11th house. So during this particular period, you will be going through struggles, hardships, but your accomplishments will be there when Mars transiting through your 4th house. And you'll be getting all the help, support, guidance. There will be rising status, prestige and honor. But you'll be all the help, support and guidance from your father and the highest authority and decision maker. You'll be able to build your resources. You may be separated from your friends and relatives. You may have an injury caused by weapons or fire. And your house may have issues. There may be losses from the land. You may have loss of vehicle due to an accident or loss of wealth due to mishappening. You'll have some sort of a lack of peace of mind due to conflicts. Journey may be source of trouble. During this particular period when Mars moves through your 4th house, this bringing some hard time in your personal life. Most of you are likely to face difficult time when it comes to managing your old enemies. You're likely to encounter some new enemies who could be from your own circle of family or friends. Some of you also be friends with some wicked people from whom you may suffer later on. Keep a close eye on your behavior. It might become cruel during this phase of time. However, a few of you may also go in for some kind of settlement with your enemies. Your health will require more attention than usual. This time period makes you susceptible to developing a fever and discomfort in the chest. Some of you also suffering from disease mostly related to blood and stomach. Mentally, you're likely to remain worried, under a spell of grief. Relationship would be demanding during this phase of time. Make peace with your family and other relatives to avoid further conflict during this phase of time. Hold on tightly to your honor and position in society as well. Avoid any issue related to land, property, especially during this phase of time. Mars in 4th house what the applied astrology says. This transit tends to stir up energies from the deepest unconscious level of your mind and activate unconscious attitude and behavior pattern from the past. This can result in you behaving compulsively and acting inappropriately in various scenarios. Also, you may find yourself fighting about something that you don't even understand. It is very important to be quite conscious of what you are doing now. Otherwise, you will behave in a very petty, irritable way that is no one around you will be able to understand, let alone deal with. This transit is also a sign of great activity where you live. Positive activity might be working hard around your home, getting things great deal accomplished. You're very strong on having your surrounding exactly the way you want, and you should make an effort to have them that way, if possible. Of course, if someone else in the home has a different point of view about this, you may have problem in coming to an agreement. Domestic strife is another side of this transit that you may have to contend with. If you don't make an effort to agree with people around you live with, if you identify so strongly and uncompromisingly with the way you want your home to be, you will force them to resist you. At this time, like is the best time not to live with other people. Living with your parents can be quite difficult now. This transit can also signify dispute with the others and you over law, ownership and use. Your professional activities may be somewhat difficult at this time. Others may oppose you whenever you make proposals. They may be able to block your efforts completely. For this reason, it might be best to keep low profile during this transit. It usually lasts only a couple of months and is followed by a more favorable time. Right now, eligible new members to the Prakash Astrologer app can also claim a complimentary one-to-one basic consultation with me. After you register on the app, you receive your welcome email. You'll then have 7 days to book your free session and bring the most important question on your mind so you can get clear personal guidance. So don't hesitate. Visit astrology.prakashastrologer.com and sign up today, and together we'll remove as much as uncertainty from your life as possible.